Big crowd, of course, as it always is at Anfield, and another cop put out a great mosaic saying the truth, which was in tribute to those 96 people who died at Hillsborough back in 1989, and they're still a bit dirty about some of the headlines made by one of the newspapers in the UK. All those years ago still hurts for those supporters, but this was the opening goal, came on 37 minutes, and it was Thomas Rosicky over the top of Dudek. You think he might have done a bit better with it?
Yeah, I think with all the three goals, he might have done a bit better. That's nothing to take away from the three Arsenal goals, of course, but Dudek will keep his place tonight because he was promised that he will play in the Cups. This is Rosicky's second goal. You see that goes down maybe a little bit late there. Dudek could have got a hand to that, push it around the post, but it was a counter-attacking Arsenal. Liverpool didn't play bad.
They dominated most of the first half, didn't they?
They did, and but it's all about, in the final third, scoring goals.
Well, Dirk Kuyt certainly did score one goal to get it back to 2-1, but really by then Liverpool were chasing the game. This was a good chance for the Brazilian Fabio Aurelio, which perhaps on another day would have scored, and then Arsenal just wraps it up towards the end with who else but Thierry Henry, causing problems down the left-hand side.
There's just no one better in the business, is there? And one mistake, he pounces on it. You know, Dudek, is he a bit slow to get down? I mean, Thierry Henry is very close to him there, but what about to have him in the side? It looked like Liverpool were going to equalise. One mistake, he breaks away, and it's 3-1. It's all over. So
I'll tell you what a fantastic time for Wenger to have Thierry Henry come back, because of course he's missed a fair chunk of the season with various injuries, and now it's like having a new player back. And when you've got Henry, who's scored over 100 goals in the last 4 years, fantastic.
It is. It's unbelievable. And look, they've missed him. Of that, there is no doubt. And he also welcomes back Diaby, who was a big signing for Wenger, and he's one of the reasons with him coming back in. He's been out injured all season. With him coming back in, that's why he's not going to the transfer market. He's saying that, you know, it's like I've got a new player in Diaby, and of course with Henry, like you said, it's just a great time in respect to the Champions League, especially.
No Gallas or Adebayor or Freddie Ljungberg, as we understand, for Arsenal, though they're still out injured, although Fabregas may well be back. Now, what about the road to this quarter-final? Of course, this game was actually postponed from late December because of heavy fog. The coaches weren't too impressed because, of course, they've got some fixture congestion. But this is how Liverpool have reached the last eight. They overcame Reading by 4-3, and then Birmingham by the only goal away from home in round 4, a game, in fact, when they actually lost Mohamed Sissoko to a shoulder injury. So that's their path to the quarter-finals. I think we can have a look at Arsenal's path as well. They've had 2 away games to get to this stage. West Brom 2-0. That was the third round tie, and then they beat Everton.
They've enjoyed Merseyside this season, haven't they?
They have, haven't they? Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that was it's always difficult to go to Goodison, especially in a cup tie, and get a result. But you know, they've come to Liverpool now, knocked them out of the FA Cup. Of course, Liverpool being the holders, and so look, I think he's going to make a lot of changes tonight. We hear that he might rest Thierry Henry, Gilberto Silva.
We think he might be on the bench, Henry.
Henry. So, of course, now, as I said, this has less importance now, the Carling Cup. But I think if you talk about the Birmingham game where Liverpool won 1-0, and you talked about Sissoko, I think that was a massive loss to Liverpool. I think he really is the guy in midfield who pulls it all together. He does a lot of the, if you want to, what would you say, the work that
the Roy
Vieira,
Keane role, isn't
Makelele,
it?
that sort of thing. So he's been a massive loss.
OK, now obviously in this competition, as you've already mentioned, Robbie, Arsenal and one or two other big clubs do tend to put out what we used to call under-strength teams. Now they're called sort of youth teams, aren't they, I suppose, or the next generation. What do you make of this policy? To be honest, I've always found it a bit disrespectful, and I can maybe understand the likes of Chelsea doing it, and maybe even Arsenal, the bigger clubs. But when you get the clubs like Bolton and Man City, my own club, you know, when they stick out reserves in there, it's not only disrespectful to the competition, but to me it's for the fans as well, because you want to see your club win silverware, and if you're Bolton or Man City, this is your best chance.
This is your best chance, and it's something that's, yeah, you can't understand it really. As you said, you can understand it for the bigger clubs who are in all competitions, and particularly the Champions League. But for the lesser clubs, no disrespect to them, but that's, you know, like you said, that's the best chance for silverware. So it does take a lot away with it, away from the competition, and with a European place up for grabs, it's somewhat surprising.
OK, let's have a look at one or two facts and figures for both these clubs going into this game. Liverpool, of course, as we've told you, League Cup winners on a record 7 occasions, which is not a bad stat when you consider they didn't actually record their first win until 1980-81.
When it got serious.
When they got serious about it. They've got the most final appearances of any club, that's 9. And, of course, the last time they were in the final, 2004-2005, they lost 3-2 to Chelsea. I think that was the game that Steven Gerrard scored an own goal, is that right?
Yes, that's exactly right. They were winning, I think, the 88th minute.
Yeah.
It was late on, and the last time they won was in 2003 when they beat Manchester United 2-0. So
Jose Mourinho's first trophy, I think that was, as Chelsea coach. Let's have a look at Arsenal's stats. They've only won the League Cup twice, the first back in 1987 when Charlie Nicholas, I remember this game well, they beat Luton 2-1, and Stephen Morrow was celebrating and he fell over Tony Adams' shoulder and broke his collarbone. And they won it for the last time back in 1993 against Sheffield Wednesday.
Yes.
Yeah, they actually did the double. And of course they've got half a chance of doing that, maybe even the treble again this year. They've reached the final on 5 occasions, and as we say, they last won the trophy back in 1992-93 with a 2-1 win over Sheffield Wednesday. Well, we think Jeremy Aliadier may start up front tonight for Arsenal. But when you look at these young players, as we were talking about, Robbie, and they've got a lot out on loan, actually, Arsenal. The likes of Sebastian Larsson and Kerrier Gilbert and Arturo Lupoli, who's at Derby. He's sort of gaining them experience with other clubs. Do you think any of these guys might actually come back at some stage and play for the first team?
You can't see it. I mean, you might get the odd one. And even you mentioned Ali, exactly. I mean, he scored 2 against West Brom in this competition. Yeah, French striker, big reputation. He's only 23 years old, but he just can't get a run. And even when Henry's not there, he doesn't get a run. So you look at all these players and the ones you mentioned, really, in respect to first team futures at Arsenal, you just can't see it.
Well, there's certainly no future for a young guy called Anthony Stokes. You might have never heard of him, but he's just signed for Sunderland. Now, this is the way modern football is going in England. He's a young English guy, he's a striker. He's only played once for Arsenal, that was in the Carling Cup. And yesterday he joined Sunderland for £2.2 million, about $5 million. That was more than you were worth in your entire career,
Exactly,
wasn't it?
it was, yes. And some might say that was people paid too much as well. But look, it's the way it is. It's because he comes from Arsenal. And obviously he would have been followed by scouts, and he's something obviously that is quite special, but he just can't get into the Arsenal team because he's English.
Do you reckon that's the way?
Do you think that's the way? No, I'm only joking.
Yeah.
But look, it's just difficult to get in there. There's so many players in front of them, and it shows you that other clubs are looking, rather than looking around lower premiership clubs or championship clubs, they're looking at the big clubs and looking what can't get into their first teams and buying them.
Well, Arsenal will certainly want to win this quarter-final tie tonight because, of course, it's Spurs awaiting the winners in the semi-finals. Just a final word on Liverpool as we take a look at the Kop, Robbie.
Great fans.
They have got fantastic fans. They haven't taken a point this season in the Premier League from either United, Chelsea or Arsenal. That's an amazing stat.
It is, and you really can't work it out. I thought Wigan was the only team that was doing that, but it is amazing. And look, you can't challenge for the title if you can't do it. It's almost we should be just being quiet and listening to this now. It's always great when they sing this.
It's great atmosphere, and they do in fact have great home form this season in the Premier League. Liverpool, they've won 9, drawn 2, lost 0. They've scored 23 goals, they've only conceded 3. They're unbeaten at home in the league since October 2005, and that's why, as that sign says, this is Anfield. It's such an intimidating place for clubs to come, but not so Arsenal, because of course they won by 3-1 at the weekend, and despite probably fielding what we'd call an understrength team tonight against Liverpool, they perhaps fancy their chances of winning through to the semi-finals and a date with Spurs. There's the Liverpool lineup. Jerzy Dudek continues in goal. Robbie Fowler up front with Craig Bellamy. He's got 21 goals, Robbie, in 24 appearances. He loves this competition.
He does, and it's interesting that he's changed it around, and we expected that. Look, it's a different sort of partnership, Fowler and Bellamy. Fowler obviously is the one who stays up there and likes to get things to feet, and Bellamy likes to join in the midfield, pull right, pull left-hand side.
Stephen Warnock will play at left back. Steven Gerrard, of course, captains the team. Fabio Aurelio on the right-hand side of midfield, according to that caption, which is interesting.
Which is very strange. Very, very left-footed, and it's an interesting team. I would have thought this is very, very important for Liverpool this game now.
OK, this is the Arsenal lineup. They named 3 goalkeepers in their squad. Manuel Almunia has got the nod. Hoyt, Toure, the captain, and Johan Giroud, the Swiss international, and Traore, of course, at the back. They too will play a 4-4-2 formation. Ali Adier and Baptiste at the front too. It's rather an unfamiliar-looking Arsenal lineup, as we expected, Robbie.
Yes, and both sides are very unfamiliar. I thought Liverpool would have been maybe more towards full strength, but watch out for Denilson, exciting player, and of course Walcott, who's a big hope for England in the future. But look, it's interesting this game because there are a lot of players that we're not used to seeing. So in that respect, it's somewhat a little glimpse into the future.
Well, we're about to find out what happens in the future. Enjoy the game. It looks a fine, almost balmy night on Merseyside, which is not something that happens too often at this time of the year. It's Liverpool against Arsenal in the quarter-final of the Carling Cup. We'll see you at half-time.
The referee tonight, Malcolm Atkinson.
With 2 completely different teams. Arsenal, remember, were beaten semi-finalists in this competition last season. A dramatic last 4 defeat by Wigan. While for Liverpool, their run came to an end abruptly, really, at Crystal Palace in round 3. En route to this season's quarter-final, Liverpool have also beaten Reading as well as Birmingham. Arsenal were conquerors of West Bromwich Albion before beating Everton that match I mentioned earlier at Goodison Park. So a trip to Merseyside doesn't appear to carry too much fears for Arsenal at the moment. Liverpool normally so strong here until last weekend. They had an excellent home record against Arsenal too. They lost just 2 of their last 15 games against the Gunners at Anfield. But the win on Saturday, really a masterclass of counter-attacking football inspired by Henry from the Gunners. And we'll hope for goals tonight. There normally are when these two collide. 8 of the last 9 meetings have finished with 3 goals or more, including, of course, the one just 3 days ago. Rafa Benitez, I think, may be toyed with putting out an even stronger side tonight, given that they are pretty desperate to remain in the competition. But on checking the personnel after Saturday's game, checking the injuries, who was fresh, who wasn't, he's come up with a team that does include then Steven Gerrard, their talisman in midfield, and Robbie Fowler, who's got 30 goals in the League Cup. Fantastic record down the years, even if these days he isn't quite the force of old.
And the Liverpool mascot, 7-year-old Thomas Tinsley from Berkshire, and 9-year-old...
Certainly had plenty of possession in Saturday's encounter, Liverpool, but not the cutting edge they needed against a very gritty and determined Arsenal team. And Arsene Wenger will be hoping his team can come up with a similar kind of display, even if it is a much younger starting 11. Liverpool preparing for their 16th League Cup final. Arsenal are playing in their 19th overall and 4th in successive seasons. Martin Atkinson, whose decision to call off the game originally didn't go down too well with either manager because of the fog. The game was postponed just before Christmas. Rafa Benitez and Arsene Wenger both pleaded with him to go ahead with the match, but he felt that his officials couldn't do their job properly. They couldn't see halfway around the field. As it happens, the fog did lift an hour or so later, but he wasn't to know that. Anyway, that's in the past now. This is the present. It's Liverpool kicking off, of course, in their famous red, defending the goal to our right here. Sami Hyypiä alongside Paletta, the young Argentine, in the centre of the back 4. Jamie Carragher is among the Liverpool subs in case he's needed. Away then by Toure for Arsenal. He was terrific at the weekend, really strong back there alongside Senderos. It was Fabregas, who missed the game because of suspension. What a vital cog he has become in the Arsenal wheel. over the past couple of years or so. He was the youngest, well, he still is the youngest ever debutant for Arsenal. That might not be the case, though, by the end of this game. They have a youngster on the bench, Henry Lansbury. Should he come on, he will be the youngest ever debutant. Here's Paletta, who's an Argentine under-21 international. Hasn't as yet had too much of a look in, really, at Liverpool. With Carragher, Agger, and of course Herpia all in the frame or in the pecking order above him at the moment. And there is talk he might have a spell out on loan soon. It's young Guthrie. Playing in midfield, Peltier at right back. Real test of their character and nerve in such a big fixture. Guthrie 19 and Peltier 20. And remember, 6 teenagers, I'm not sure if I mentioned that earlier, but 6 teenagers in the Arsenal first 11. Including Aman Traore, who's only 17 at left back. Dudek, I think, took some of the blame for 2 of the Arsenal goals on Saturday. The last 2. Does feel a bit slow to react. Maybe he was mesmerised, as we all were, by Thierry Henry for the last one. That was Song. A Cameroon player in midfield for Arsenal. Almunia keeping goal. And that was the first one he had conceded when Kaut scored for Liverpool in the second half 3 days ago. His only league appearance this season was actually against Liverpool at the Emirates Stadium back in November, when Arsenal were comfortable winners by 3-0. Fabregas trying to work it on then as Liverpool stepped up, and referee Atkinson has given the free kick then to Arsenal, who as a score will have arrived here full of confidence, buoyant from Saturday. Might be lined up here for Kolo Touré, the captain, to have a strike on goal. Oh, back to the drawing board with that one. Fowler. Really only a bit-time player, really, with Liverpool these days. Doesn't get too many starts, certainly. A crunching challenge on him then by Giroud, the young Swiss defender. Walcott. Liverpool will be really wary of his pace. Here is Walcott now, who of course has gone down in history as the youngster who went to the World Cup. Huge gamble by Sven-Göran Eriksson, and then didn't play him at all. Well, he went in with his boot. I would have thought off the ground then, Giroud, on Robbie Fowler. Pretty ferocious challenge from the young Swiss defender. His compatriot Senderos had an excellent game at the weekend, not featuring in the squad tonight, as Arsene Wenger, like Rafa Benitez, rings the changes. It's Gonzalez who is the player down here. Didn't quite see what happened there. The Chilean international is coming on the flank tonight, and that's a worrying sight as the stretcher comes on. Only 5 minutes in, that may well be the end of his contribution tonight. Yeah, he just skidded there as he challenged Walcott. Got the ball, but then fell very awkwardly. Come in for Jermaine Pennant on the flank, and Luis Garcia, who did start at the weekend, is going to be introduced at the expense of Gonzalez. who clearly can't continue. Such a pity from his point of view. Competition is pretty fierce at the moment at Anfield, and he was very keen to show what he could do against Arsene Wenger's side. I think that's Henry is spelt with an I at the end, but he is English. Lansbury, 17. 16 years and 89 days if he comes on tonight. Cesc Fabregas was 16 years and 177 days when he played against Rotherham in this competition 4 years ago. So an early substitution forced on Rafa Benitez. The Spaniard Luis Garcia on to replace Marc Gonzalez. And we'll wish him a speedy recovery. Certainly no blame attached to Theo Walcott. Steven Gerrard just checking the extent of the damage and offering a comforting word to his teammate. Liverpool still smarting for that rare home setback. In terms of league football, they've not been beaten in front of their own fans in 27 Premiership fixtures now. But just at the moment, their concern is for Marc Gonzalez. Clearly in need of some urgent attention. Well, obviously they are having to be very careful here. Rafa Benitez looking understandably worried, as are the Liverpool fans. Gonzalez hasn't yet established himself as an automatic selection, although he's featured quite often. Played just over 20 times for the club. Has blown rather hot and cold, in truth. There's another angle to it. It's actually, suddenly turned, and you can see him waving towards the bench there in some distress. I think they're having to wait till the anaesthetic they've given him sets in. Not easy for the other players either, losing their momentum here. It's not that cold a night, it's a damp one. Craig Bellamy wasn't a starter at the weekend, and we saw quite a few glimpses of him in the second half, pacing up and down the touchline, waiting to get on. He had been carrying an injury, so maybe Benitez felt he wasn't going to risk him. Don't think Gerrard would have started tonight had they won on Saturday. That's a measure of how much they want to go on to the last four now in the Carling Cup. Lee Peltier is at right back. Steve Finnan making way this evening. Well, sympathetic applause for Marc Gonzalez. And let's hope that isn't too serious. One of those injuries that's hard to explain, really.
Liverpool substitution, number 10, Luis Garcia, replacing number 11, Marc Gonzalez.
So, Luis Garcia on much earlier than he would have anticipated. Here's Torre. Now Song. Cleared by Herpier, who shares regular duties in the centre of the back line there with Dan Agger these days. Song. Good football from Arsenal, as you'd expect from a team groomed by Arsene Wenger, even if the names are rather unfamiliar. Was Armand Traoré, who's playing at left back. Gaël Clichy taking a breather this evening. That was Giroud, then to Song. Good play by Justin Hoyt, who had a little run in the side recently when Aboué was out. Aboué returned at the weekend. That was Guthrie, running out of steam and running out of ideas in the end. Paletta. Was there an offside? No. Flag stayed down as it was played up towards Fowler. I think it was Bellamy was in an offside position, but rightly so, the referee allowed play to go on, and Toure comes to the rescue for the Gunners. Bellamy, who's been in fine form lately until sustaining an injury that meant he couldn't feature at the weekend. Herpier and Paletta, the two twin centre halves, are both up there. There's Guthrie's cross. Good control by Paletta. But the strike on goal wasn't too clever. Well, they've got a really tough game coming up in the Champions League, of course, against Barcelona. Don't think they're going to catch Manchester United and Chelsea in the Premiership. Out of the FA Cup now, the holders. So the Carling Cup does offer a route to a trophy for them. Bellamy against Giroud. We've got a second bite at it unexpectedly then. Bellamy, and again. And Gerrard's free. Robbie Fowler going in. Some very uncertain defending by Arsenal, and Gerrard, I'm sure he'll be thinking too, really should have made more of that opportunity. It was virtually a free header. Normally much deadlier than that in front of goal. He's got 5 now in his last 11 games, Steven Gerrard. Alexander Song to Fabregas. Robbie Fowler getting involved, but to no avail. Walcott, who's had really only cameo roles for the Gunners so far since his move from Southampton. Song, then to Fabregas, who has been having an outstanding season for Arsenal. Really has become such an important player for them. Song. Foot looked to be high from Aurelio. And they've taken that, I think, too quickly. Much to the irritation of Steven Gerrard. Luis Garcia. It was neatly done too. This is promising. Almunia held on very well then. Read that superbly as Warnock came steaming down the left side. Bent in invitingly, and Almunia responded really well. He has proved himself a decent keeper as backup to Jens Lehmann, who might not be with the club next season, the German. Talk of him going back to his homeland. Arsenal only want to give him a one-year deal. He says he wants a 2-year contract. Traoré. Maybe the occasion got to him. Only 17. He came from Monaco back in the summer. He has featured in the first team before in the League Cup too. The wins over West Brom and Everton. Nudged on by Baptista, the Brazilian. Gerrard. Good link-up play from Liverpool. Bellamy's after this one. Almunia happy though to settle for the goal kick. He's steadily improved over the season, Bellamy, since his move from Blackburn. And it would seem that Rafa Benitez's first pick as pairing up front is Bellamy and Kaut when they're both fit and available. Just hearing some news of Marc Gonzalez. It's his right fibia that's causing the problem, and he's having an X-ray here at the ground so they can assess the extent of the problem. Meantime, a bit of frustration for Bellamy, who says himself he was giving himself sort of 5 or 6 out of 10 earlier in the season. Now he said it's nearer 7 or 8. He's been scoring a few goals too. Back in the fray this evening. All Liverpool. Song had lost it out initially. His mistake, lack of concentration really. Bailed out though by Kolo Touré. Down goes Warnock. Here's Aurelio. He caught the eye in the second half at the weekend, replacing John Arnorisa, who looked really out of sorts. Now here's a test for Traoré. Guthrie got his cross in, and then the shot fired in by Gerrard. That's more like it. Thunderous drive from the captain. Dudek actually had very few shots to save in the meeting on Saturday. Beaten by Rosicki twice and by Thierry Henry, but otherwise I can't recall that many times he was actually called upon. He did make one excellent save from Van Persie. Well, he's a highly rated midfielder, Alex Song, only 19, a Cameroon youth international. But he did get caught in possession a couple of minutes back. And I bet he got an ear bashing too from Kolo Touré. Aurelio. Good movement from Garcia. Peltier. Now Bellamy. Aurelio, a little risky pass there. In the end, it's made its way through to Sami Hyypiä. Twice a League Cup winner with Liverpool. Now Warnock. There has been talk he might be on his way in the transfer window. Liverpool keen to sign Lucas Neal from Blackburn, and there was talk of a swap, but nothing as yet has come of that. And I think Blackburn are pretty reluctant anyway to let Neal go. Justin Hoyt taking the throw then for Arsenal. Got his first ever goal for the club recently in the win over Charlton. The first English player to score for Arsenal in 16 months since Sol Campbell. Here's Hyypiä. Robbie Fowler failing to latch on to it. Well, he knows he's not going to start too many, Fowler. for Liverpool these days. But of course his goal-scoring record over the years will be of concern to Arsene Wenger. He's actually scored 11 times against Arsenal in a Liverpool jersey. Not really happening for Benitez's team so far, almost at the midway point in the first half. That was Toure with the long ball, dealt with by Dudek, whose contract is up at the end of the season. And there is some doubt about whether he'll be a Liverpool player next season or not. Always remembered, of course, for his part in their Champions League triumph over Milan, with his saves in the penalty shootout. Aurelio. Here's Bellamy. And he's just dug it too far. But he can be a real source of irritation to any defence with his pace, just as Fowler can be with his finishing. Guthrie operating in midfield in tandem with Gerrard. That was the intended plan anyway. Aurelio seems to be playing a fair bit in the centre as well. Baptista. Wenger wants him to stand up and be counted when he gets in the team. They call him the Beast. He's been a bit too timid so far to earn that nickname in an Arsenal jersey. Hasn't really got going yet since his move from Real Madrid. It's all been a bit lacklustre in truth. Sami Hyypiä. The Liverpool fans want to get behind their team, but they want something to shout about. That was better. Fowler, rather casual flick though, straight to Giroud. Now it's Toure. As I mentioned earlier, William Gallas could be back at the weekend for Arsenal's Premiership game against Blackburn. They actually haven't done too badly in his absence. Sender Olsen, Giroud and of course Toure have been playing there in the middle. Fowler, almost on then for Bellamy. Quick thinking by Fowler, but not quite the accuracy that it needed. Baptista. Aliadier has got up front, the young Frenchman. Haven't seen too much of him yet. Liverpool defending a high line, rather higher than they did at the weekend. They're obviously worried about the blistering, scorching pace of Henry, as emphasised right at the finish when Carragher got caught in possession. Henry more or less passed to himself, raced through and scored a fantastic goal to secure the win. Now here's Walcott, who's not exactly a slouch himself, but he was going nowhere. Gerrard. Always the leader, and they need his inspiration. On by Peltier. To Bellamy. Excellent work here by Liverpool. Bellamy. What a fine piece of anticipation, though, by Kolo Toure to snuff out the danger. Top-class defending. Arsenal now on the counter-attack with Fabregas. That was much better from Liverpool. Great defending though by Torre. He really has developed into a class act. On by Luis Garcia to Gerrard. And a snapshot from Robbie Fowler. A few gasps among the Liverpool fans. It wasn't really the Robbie Fowler of old. Far from it. Just look how well he read this situation, Torre. It's good build-up play from Liverpool. And he's spotted that pass. And made the interception. Guthrie involved in the build-up. And Torre put an end to it all. Traore. Now then to Song. Wolf. No one had picked up but Ali Adier. And Arsenal have scored right out of the blue from nowhere. As it was floated through then, there seemed to be no danger. And just as Torre had defended superbly at the other end, with great anticipation at the other end now, Ali Adier read that beautifully as well. Nipped in from nowhere. It was Torre who picked him out too. He's got goal side of Paletta, there's no offside flag. And he's tucked it away. Jeremy Ali Adier. He's got a good goal scoring record in this competition and he's continued in the same vein. Liverpool defenders just stood around and watched. And they have been fully punished. Well, they've barely had an attack worthy of the name up until then. Almunia stepped out of his penalty box, but he kept the ball inside. Song. What a lift for Arsenal. Now here's Fabregas. They might get another chance here. There's Ali Adier on the prowl again. Hasn't really made the breakthrough as yet with Arsenal. I think he's only started a couple of times in the Premiership during his 3 years or so at the club. But he's looked the part in the cup competitions. Certainly this one anyway. Traore to Fabregas. Looking to link again with the front players. There goes Baptista. Well, they got completely caught out, Liverpool, by that ball over the top from Kolo Touré. Seized on by Ali Adier. Nilsson, the young Brazilian, is playing out wide on the left. They'll be sick of the sight of Arsenal. Yes, Dudek. Really fine piece of goal poaching from Ali Adier. It's his third goal this season in the Carling Cup. He got two, both goals indeed, against West Brom earlier in the competition. Stabbed away by Paletta in the nick of time. And here's Gerrard. And they got careless again, Liverpool. Aurelio that time. Now Walcott. Good delivery. Maybe just too long in the end for Nilsson. But he's kept it in. And the home fans pretty much pretty much unconvinced by their team showing so far. Baptista. He's got just a 1 goal so far for Arsenal, and he hasn't always played that often. Now it's Fowler on the counter raid, and Song kicked out at him, and surely will be cautioned for that, as Fowler looked to drift away from him. Certainly potentially a very dangerous moment, with Fowler bearing down on goal. That was a crude lunge by Alexander Song. Chance then for Liverpool, just past the half-hour mark. Aurelio is hovering. Steven Gerrard alongside, but it's going to be Aurelio, and it got through, and Almunia made the first save, but then Robbie Fowler flicks in the rebound, and Liverpool are level. Robbie Fowler with his 29th League Cup goal for Liverpool, and his 31st in this competition overall. An impudent flick in front of goal. Almunia couldn't hold on to it. And there was the old master predator, Robbie Fowler, in the right place, as he has been so often in the past. In his heyday, in his pomp, he used to score goals like that for fun. Just his 3rd goal in total for Liverpool this season, and his 2nd in the Carling Cup. He also scored in the 4-3 home win over Reading. Let's give on the fans a lift anyway. Not that Arsene Wenger will see it that way. Just beginning to get a bit impatient, the Liverpool followers. And I think there will be some disappointment among them that Rafa Benitez didn't go for a stronger side to start with. He has got Crouch on the bench, among others, but anyway, here's Traore steaming forward, and whoops, rather painfully colliding with the hoardings there. Xabi Alonso is also a substitute for Liverpool tonight. Here's the goal again. Maybe Almunia will be disappointed he couldn't hold on to it. But it was a stinging drive from Aurelio, in fairness to the Spanish goalkeeper. Baptista, caught in possession though by Paletta. That was Aurelio. Guthrie's pass towards Bellamy. Cross comes Giroud. Harpier. Luis Garcia. Lost his footing though at the vital moment. Aliadier. Not quite sure where he was going there. Well, the last thing they need now is yet another injury. It's Warnock. Stephen Warnock this time. Aliadier looked to have overrun it. Right into the back of Warnock. But he'll be very pleased with his goal, taken so smartly, with Liverpool caught napping. No one going with him. They're looking across towards the referee's assistant. No flag. But Arsenal's lead soon wiped out by Robbie Fowler. And his joy, his elation didn't last too long. It's going to be a long old first half, this one. Well, I don't think there was any malice on the part of Jeremy Aliadier, but no question he made contact with him. Baptista's layoff to Hoyt. Fabregas and Song looking to combine through the centre. Certainly has been a stop-start first half so far, for one reason or another. Here's Garcia on for Marc Gonzalez, just a few minutes in. Johan Giroud to Kolo Touré. Warnock is now back on, so Liverpool back to full strength. Rolled on by Gerrard. There's Guthrie. Now Guthrie's forced the corner. And they kept going well. Sami Hyypiä on his way up. I think he's only ever scored once in this competition. Paletta has scored early on in the Carling Cup in this season. They might get another one here. Such a good opening for them. Almunia getting down in the nick of time as Gerrard threatened goal on that near post. Bellamy waiting to pounce. Aurelio lining it up. Didn't respond to the build-up though. Great little run here by Gerrard. Just trying to nick it in for Bellamy. That's a free kick to Arsenal. Conceded by Paletta. He's had one or two anxious moments back there. This latest one against Baptista, who is pretty much playing for his future at the Emirates Stadium. Baptista. Arsene Wenger has yet to decide whether he wants to keep him or not once his existing arrangement is over. A goal now wouldn't do his prospects any harm whatsoever. Well, maybe Touré will fancy it. He did score against Liverpool in the league game recently. Here's Baptista. There's the answer. How about that one, Arsene? That's the message from Baptista to Arsene Wenger. That's what he can do. That's what he's capable of. Yes, he do that completely flat-footed.
Scorer for Arsenal, number 9, Julio Baptista.
It was superbly placed. Not sure about the wall. No response from Dudek, who did seem to misjudge the flight of it. And Arsenal are back in front again with 5 minutes of the first half to go. You see, I told you he was a good player. Arsene Wenger was rather hinting recently that he had already made up his mind about Baptista, but wasn't going to tell him yet. Well, that's the kind of finishing he wants to see from him. No doubt about his talent. Real Madrid paid an awful lot of money for him, Julio Baptista. Paletta, who gave away the free kick rather carelessly, just like his distribution there. He's a big fellow, isn't he, Baptista? That's probably why they call him the Beast. It's only his second goal then for Arsenal, and his first in domestic football. The other one was against Hamburg in the Champions League. Well, Almunia had to have his wits about him then. Warnock. Now Herpia. Here's Gerrard. The well-weighted pass too. The cross not quite near enough to Robbie Fowler. As Hoyt hammers it away. Almunia seemed to be caught in two minds then, but needn't have worried. Baptista showed his strength there. Walcott showed too much of the ball to Aurelio. Back come Liverpool again with Gerrard. Now Bellamy. Fowler's in the centre. So is Luis Garcia. Up comes Gerrard again. But he can't thread it through. Ali Adier straight to Herpia. Liverpool striving to end this first half on a high and get the fans right behind them again. Song. Now Torre, keeping things together mainly at the back for Arsenal. Just one or two jittery moments, and certainly on the goal they were found wanting. And Benitez must have felt then his team would go on from there. Not at the moment. It's been a struggle for them. I'll tell you what, if they go out tonight, there'll be a few fans on his back for not picking a stronger side. Height. Poor clearance though, straight to Aurelio. Luis Garcia, guilty of over-elaborating. Off goes Baptista, onto Denilson, his Brazilian compatriot. Ali Adier, evading any offside decision. But then back comes Steven Gerrard to regain possession for Liverpool. And maybe send Bellamy on his way. No, the flag's up against him. He is so quick. But he just went too soon. I'm presuming it's for offside. Looks a very tight call. Giroud was with him anyway. Quick early ball from Steven Gerrard. Almost unhinged the Gunners' defence. Torre. Then Walcott. I think he's been disappointing so far. Young man of so much potential, so much promise. Lovely control there. Now they might have something here from Bellamy. Good tackle from Giroud.
There'll be a minimum of 6 minutes added time at the end of the first half.
6 minutes of added time. It's just been confirmed. No surprise there. With a couple of injuries, in particular, of course, the one for Gonzalez. But Liverpool had Arsenal stretched then. Give it away to Baptista. This is where they can't be so dangerous on the counter-attack, Arsenal, as they've already proved from the game at the weekend, even if it was with different personnel. Bit of a mix-up there. Giroud and Song, they've got away with it. Traoré, Song again, then Fabregas. He's so neat and precise with his passing. It's a good ball here for Denilson. Baptista's gone through the centre. This is Jeremy Aliadier. Did that go out? I think it did. Off Guthrie. It's a corner to Arsenal. In stoppage time. Lots of stoppage time. Even Fowler's come back to defend. Has it gone in? It has! Song! Goodness me. This young Arsenal side with 6 teenagers in the starting 11 are leading Liverpool at Anfield by 3 goals to 1. And he'll be wondering now if he's made an almighty blunder here in not putting out a much stronger team. They were all over the place at the back. What on earth was going on there? Dudek came, didn't collect. Herpia didn't deal with it. Gerrard didn't deal with it. And in the end, I'm not sure he knew too much about it, but it flew in off Alexandra Song. Offside, Bellamy. Wouldn't have counted. Oh, what a turn up here. And he, I'm afraid, is having a bit of a nightmare evening. Had his critics at the weekend, and they'll be lining up again tonight. Song with goal number 3. First for him this season. Herpia, he and his teammates were in disarray back there. You can't say he's short on experience, Herpia or Dudek. But they just simply didn't deal with the problem. Not that he'll be complaining. Glum faces among the Liverpool faithful. And now Fabregas getting a ticking off by referee Atkinson. But no more than that. Song the only player cautioned so far. Well, it did seem that Liverpool were back on course, but Arsenal had other ideas. Alexandra Song, Baptista. Arsene Wenger promised they would give it a real go, and he has been true to his word. His players have done him proud. Even Gerrard struggling. Song for Fabregas. He's so hard to shake off once he's on the ball. Now Walcott. Aliadier couldn't quite pick the right pass. Denilson, who's had a call-up already for the full Brazilian national squad. Here's the Welshman, Bellamy. Now, could he do something here to bring Liverpool back into this cup tie? Well, it was a tame finish, really, from Aurelio. Surely might have made more of that opportunity. Teed up for him by Bellamy. Almunia not extended. Herpia's header. Straight to Torre. And it's Song. And Julio Baptista. Adier. Oh, Baptista! And it's 4-1. Again, Liverpool looking in vain for an offside flag. It stayed down. And Baptista gets his second. And it might just be curtains now for Liverpool in terms of the Carling Cup.
Julio Baptista.
Aliadier did really well then. I'm not so sure though that is. Not so sure he was onside. But if there's no clear daylight, then he is. All credit to Baptista here, showing his strength. Up go the arms, but no support from the officials. Baptista's run, and he's there to finish it off as well. Ali Adier had the presence of mind to locate him in the centre. And this is some scoreline. Bring on Liverpool with the Arsenal cry. Well, what does he have to say about all that? If looks could kill, he's got a thunderous expression, and no wonder. His team are in deep, deep trouble here. Baptista with a double strike for this young Arsenal team.
26 minutes.
Going ahead through Jeremy Aliadier, Robbie Fowler bringing Liverpool back on level terms. But then Baptista twice and Song have put Arsenal in such a commanding position. 4-1 they lead in this Carling Cup quarter-final, the rescheduled quarter-final at Anfield.
Rafa Benitez puts out a team like this, and I'm sure the supporters expected a much stronger side than what they're seeing.
Well, we'll see if he does indeed go to Peter Crouch. Stephen Warnock's certainly back on for the second half. Let's see what happens as we rejoin our commentator, Peter Brackley.
Referee Martin Atkinson just checking that all is well, and will be underway in a second or two. Bit of a roar around Anfield. The Liverpool fans will always have their belief. But it's a long way back from here. And in truth, they were a defensive shambles in the first half. Baptista with two, Ali Adier and Song. Fowler with a 1-goal for Liverpool. That was his pass, which has gone some way off its intended target. We were looking back to see when they were last beaten 4-1, or losing 4-1 at home even, Liverpool. Chelsea won here 4-1 in the Premiership, 2nd of October 2005. And it was a similar, in fact the same, scoring sequence as well. That was Guthrie here. On to Peltier, who was aiming for Craig Bellamy. Back comes Song. A rather fortuitous goal for him. And the name will be familiar to Liverpool fans. He's the nephew of former Liverpool player Rigobert Song. This one, Alexander, just 19. And he's made his impression this game, having been cautioned as well. Nothing on this time for Ali Adier, but he has posed a problem or two up front. 7 League Cup goals now in 6 appearances. The challenge by Traoré. Down goes Denilson. Free kick to Arsenal. Baptista. He's in the mood now. Here's Walcott. 2 in the middle. Denilson's up there too. Walcott's kept going. Here's Hoyt. Giroud. Then Song, just stepping in. Kolo Touré. It's been a real tower of strength back there for Arsenal. The players might be different, but they play the same way as the more recognised personnel. Touré. Precise and accurate passing from the young guns. Traoré, the 17-year-old. Not a bit careless that though. Chances here. Aurelio. Out by Giroud. only to Bellamy. And that was Guthrie. And here's a chance for a break. Fabregas onto Ali Adier. And Arsene Wenger has given him a vote of confidence. He's sold on another promising youngster, Anthony Stokes, to Sunderland. So clearly intends to persevere with Ali Adier. Danielson is certainly one for the future. Likewise, Traoré. Here's Giroud. As well as losing Gonzalez so early on, there was also an injury, remember, to Warnock here, and he's had got a 6-inch gash on his leg, I gather. So he was certainly in the wars. Big problems for Liverpool tonight. Never really had control of this game. The initiative has been with Arsenal for the most part. Walcott. Not in their wildest dreams, though, surely would they have thought they'd be 4-1 up at Anfield, where very few teams are successful, whoever's playing. Baptista clashing with Luis Garcia. Here's Fabregas. Herpia eventually able to clear, but the marking was a bit slack again. Traoré. Danielson. Here is young Traoré. They're all young, really. He's had some sticky moments. Gabriel Paletta alongside Herpia at the back. Haven't really defended with too much harmony. Aurelio. Play on. It was a poor challenge by Fabregas. Luis Garcia on to Bellamy. Gerrard's in the penalty box as well. Still Craig Bellamy. Can just get one or two back, you never know. But for the moment, Liverpool have defending to do. Here's Baptista. Danielson. Baptista again on a hat-trick. A sturdy challenge this time from Herpia, no messing about. Luis Garcia. Bellamy was nearly in then. Once again, Almunia alive to the danger. I think he's only going to play in the Cups, really. Almunia, with Jens Lehmann very much the first choice in the Premiership and in the Champions League. But when he's come in this season, Almunia, he certainly hasn't let them down. Tucked away by Traoré. Arsene Wenger has never won the League Cup, incidentally, for all his success. Is this going to be his year? Goal kick, to the utter dejection of Robbie Fowler. And his goal in the first half reminded us just what a great finisher he has been. But no wonder he's not exactly smiling. Rafa Benitez, or the vast majority in this Anfield crowd tonight. A lot of work to be done yet. There to stand any chance of saving this game and earning a semi-final against Tottenham, Arsenal's great North London rivals. Here's Warnock in distress yet again. think we might see a change or two. Xabi Alonso getting the call now. Will he slot in alongside Gerrard in midfield? That's where they have been playing, of course, together. In the absence of Momo Sissoko, I gather we'll be back in a couple of weeks' time now. Their midfield enforcer. Also Peter Crouch there among the subs. And Jamie Carragher. Garcia already on the place of Gonzalez. Trying to get away from Hoyt. He was having none of it. And it's a free kick and respite for Arsenal. They need his leadership qualities, and they need them big time. The Alonso for Warnock will be the switch. Meantime, it's Craig Bellamy. They've got plenty up here, Liverpool. Kolo Touré with the block. And the challenge too. I think he's one of the most accomplished defenders in the Premiership now, Touré. Mainly in that central role. Of course, he played many times at fullback. Song. Out by Fabregas. And here comes the counter raid again. Ali Adier to Traoré. Baptista's made tracks into the box. And Paletta got it right this time. He's never shy of getting forward, Traoré. To Nielsen, who's mainly operating ahead of him down the Arsenal left. Been a bit cheeky there. I thought it was a corner, but apparently not. Fowler hasn't quite got the pace now, and it's Song. Walcott just nudged away in time by Herpier, then Gerrard to sweep it on. Walcott again. He and his dad, big Liverpool fans. Oh, Herpier mistimed it. It's a penalty. Ali Adier set flying. And I must admit, from my first viewing, I thought it was. A bit hard to tell what contact was made. Of course, Liverpool were denied a penalty at the weekend. Gilberto's challenge on Alonso. Alonso was booked for diving. And Herpier feels the referee tonight, Martin Atkinson, has got that one wrong. His challenge on Ali Adier. Julio Baptista on a hat-trick. The man who still has to convince Arsene Wenger he has a future with Arsenal. Tonight's performance so far is certainly helping. Can he now go one better? No! Great stop by Dudek. The hero of the Champions League final. Once again underlines his prowess at shot stopping from penalties. And has that I wonder just thrown Liverpool a lifeline. To the relief of Sami Herpier. It was a bit too close to Dudek, who got it right, guessed correctly. Savable height, strong hands behind it. And Liverpool just about are still in this quarter-final. Alonso is now on. In place of Stephen Warnock. And the home fans will sense they've just got a glimmer of hope now, Liverpool. So nearly an unbelievable 5-1 scoreline, but thanks to Jerzy Dudek, it's only 4. by Alonso. He's been complaining bitterly over the weekend about that decision that went against him on Saturday. He said there was contact from Gilberto, it was a foul, and the referee got it wrong. Opinions, shall we say, were divided on the matter. Theo Walcott. Now Fowler. Baptista was closing in on him. Just over 30 minutes for Rafa Benitez's team to transform this contest if they possibly can. He's given them a chance, although he will be far from satisfied with his part in the earlier goals that flew past him. Murphy taking the free kick quickly to Guthrie. On by Peltier to Guthrie again. Bellamy's quick, says Giroud. Fabregas. Really klutzy stuff then from the Arsenal midfielder. Here's Ali Adier. Paletta rather dived in. Committed himself. Baptista, can he do it this time? Oh yes! Oh yes! And it is 5-1, and it's 3 for Julio Baptista. Was he a misfit? Don't you believe it? Not on this showing. A really emphatic finish. Ali Adier played a big part in it though, as did Fabregas. Perfect weight on that pass. I felt Paletta overcommitted himself. So for that matter did Steven Gerrard. And what a good finish this is from Baptista. Nothing Dudek could do about that. 3-1 on Saturday, 5-1 tonight. And what a contrast in emotions. This will take some living down, you know, for Liverpool. A lot of eyebrows were raised when Rafa Benitez announced his lineup, even though Gerrard was in it. Bellamy, and then Fowler, Luis Garcia. And it all peters out disappointingly. Just over an hour gone. And Arsenal, this young Arsenal team, were in dreamland here. Great to be a Gunners fan tonight, not know if you're following Liverpool. They've had an awful lot of praise for their showing on Saturday with the full senior side, Arsenal. In comes the second string, mainly anyway. Same outcome. Although in truth it was a lot closer at the weekend. Liverpool were right back in it at 2-1, and then came Henry's individual goal right at the end to seal their place in the next round of the FA Cup, and surely they're going to be in the last 4 of the Carling Cup at Liverpool's expense. Luis Garcia. Aurelio up in support, but he couldn't find him. Well, bearing in mind the players that are appearing in this game, it's rather meaningless to throw too many statistics around. But the simple fact is Liverpool just don't lose at home too often, whoever's playing for them. This is promising, but no more than that from Liverpool. I am told it's the first time in 12 years that an opposing player's got a hat-trick here. at Anfield. Peter Unler for Coventry, the last man to do it. My thanks to my producer for giving me that information. He's got nothing better to do, presumably. Aurelio might have a go from here. That was travelling. And well gathered in by Almunia. Got some power behind that, the Brazilian. Fabregas. Did that go out? Well, it has now, surely. I've just asked my producer to find out when the one before Peter Unler was, and he's gone off in a huff. He is, though, looking up the last team to score 5 at Anfield, apart from Liverpool, and he'll bring me that news soon, I'm sure. I must admit I didn't look it up. I wasn't expecting it. Not by any stretch of the imagination. Ali Adier, whose goal set them on their way. And although there was a setback when Robbie Fowler equalised, it's been all uphill from there on. Great pass from Fabregas. Ali Adier, though, had much to do here. And it was such a clean strike from Baptista. Gerrard will be fuming, absolutely fuming. Alonso. Guthrie did well then, unlucky, but Almunia read his intentions. Herpier. It's grim viewing for Liverpool fans. They've actually had the same number of attempts on goal as Arsenal, 7 each. But the scoreline tells the story. Nilsson can protest all he likes. The decision has gone against him. That's Lee Peltier. He's himself only 20. So a regular and consistent performer too for the reserve team for Liverpool. Coming in at right back, the position usually held, of course, by Steve Finnan. It's going to be some journey back home for the Arsenal fans. They're going to enjoy that. Xabi Alonso, halfway through the second half. Oh, what a goal from Gerrard! Don't quite write them off yet. Wonderful, wonderful strike. Look at this for technique. Herpier with a header back in, then Paletta on the volley. That's such a difficult technique to master. He could not have hit it more sweetly. It flew past Almunia. 2-5. I did promise you goals at the start, remember? Wasn't really anticipating this scoreline, mind. Here come Liverpool once again knocking on the door. Gerrard's cross. And it is a free kick for Arsenal. Guthrie, who's the culprit. I think he just lost his balance, really. That wasn't how he saw it, though. I wonder. Remember the Champions League final when he inspired their comeback against Milan. The FA Cup final too, of course, last May. He can be Captain Fantastic. Fabregas pulling the strings in midfield for Arsenal. This one back by Aurelio. Fowler's checked into the centre. This is Bellamy. It goes Fowler. Played away initially by Hoyt. Walcott. Danielson. Aliadier. Danielson again. Yeah, free kick. Bit headstrong there, Danielson, as he grappled with Alonso. Gerrard. What a belter that was. Bellamy offside. Only just. Didn't really look up, did he, then? Craig Bellamy. And he's paid the price for it. There are those who feel he can become an Anfield legend. Craig Bellamy, with his pace, his finishing, his movement. Only time will tell. Aurelio. Very careless. Straight to Fabregas. That was very out of character for him. I was just about to say he very rarely gives it away. Arsenal want to make a switch. Abu Diaby's going to come on for Walcott. Meantime, frustration again for Luis Garcia. Himself, remember, came on very early as a substitute in this game for Marc Gonzalez. He's got some cracking goals down the years, Steven Gerrard, and his latest one is right up there with the best of them. It was Hoyt who clashed with Luis Garcia. I don't think he's going to continue. The problems are mounting for Rafa Benitez. Jamie Carragher will take his place very shortly. I'm quite sure what's happened about Diaby and his introduction, his entrance for Arsenal. But he's been out some 8 months or so after a career-threatening injury sustained in a game against Sunderland. Abu Diaby. Arsenal thrilled to have him back. He's been back in full training only recently. Meantime, quite a bit of concern here for Luis Garcia. Murphy is still complaining, presumably about the penalty decision that went against him. And he's had us drooling yet again with that finish, Steven Gerrard, but I tell you what, it won't mean a thing to him, given the scoreline. Here it is again. Fantastic. Just to catch it like that. And it whistled in. But only 2-5. I wonder what odds you could have got on that scoreline at the start of this game. 100 to 1, says my hard-working producer in my ear.
Abu Diaby leaving the field, number 32.
It's probably about right.
Walcott.
Well, he's done okay, he's worked hard. And of course, the best of him is yet to come. Just 17 years old, thrust into the limelight at the World Cup, even though in the end he didn't feature. And I think he's going to have to bide his time too with Arsenal before he gets a decent run in the team, such as the quality of the competition within the squad. This young man was doing very well, Abou Diaby, before that injury. He's only 20. They signed him from Auxerre in France a year ago. Well, Luis Garcia clearly is going to have to be stretchered off. That's two very worrying injuries for Liverpool on the night. And they will certainly be wishing that the fog had lifted just before Christmas and the game had gone ahead then. An evening to forget, so far anyway, for the home side. Here comes Jamie Carragher. Now the last time that we can find anyway, Liverpool conceded 5 at home back in 1930. Birmingham got 6 here. Manchester United and Chelsea have got 4 here. I think I remember that 1930 game. It was raining that day. Peter Crouch not needed. Diaby. And Liverpool have pushed Peltier up into midfield. Carragher's at right back. Robbie Fowler. 2-5. Takes some believing, doesn't it? Xabi Alonso whipping that one in. Dealt with though by Torre. Baptista. Ali Adier making a dart through the centre. He's very mobile, pretty quick too. Oh, he's outwitted Herpia. Really was dithering at the back then, the veteran Finnish international. He has definitely had better games. In real trouble here against Ali Adier. Between the two of them, Paletta and Herpia, they just couldn't sort it out. And it could easily have been 6. Diaby. He's strong, aggressive, competitive. But he had actually wondered if he might ever play again after that injury. So it is great to see him back playing again. Really bad ankle break. Gerrard. Just over 42,500 at Anfield tonight. And the vast majority are not enjoying what they're seeing. Bellamy, of course, is a handful, but Almunia stuck to his task well. Herpia. Straight out of Song. There'll be a few songs on the way home for the Arsenal fans. They'll be relishing this. Almost as much as the one at the weekend. Baptista. And if these are to be, in both teams' cases, a sign of things to come, the future generation, well, then Arsenal's does look brighter, you'd have to say that. Xabi Alonso to Aurelio. Gerrard has licence to roam quite clearly now. Just hovering outside the box. Here he is. Trying to shove his way past Song, who needs to be careful. He was cautioned, you'll recall, in the first half. I'm not so sure he did an awful lot wrong here. Just trying to stand his ground. But it is another opportunity. No team is beaten when they have Steven Gerrard in their lineup. Heading towards the last 10 minutes. Here is Gerrard. Oh, the crossbar! And then Robbie Fowler. I don't know if he got his hands to that or not. It was some venom. Spinning too from Steven Gerrard. Hold on to your seatbelts. We may yet be in for a dramatic finale. It's Fabregas now, who has an injury. Buying a little time for his team. They just need to take the sting out of this Liverpool riposte. Herpia was in the mix, just couldn't get there though. And Paletta settling for the throw. But Liverpool not yet settling for defeat. Alonso. It's Paletta again. Herpia! Oh-ho! 3-5. And suddenly the whole atmosphere changes. And it's going to be a real examination now of the defensive qualities of this young Arsenal side. Herpia making amends for his mistimed challenge earlier. That gifted Arsenal a penalty kick. Good ball in from Paletta. Not the best of defending though by Arsenal. And well, you never know. I don't think he's going to get too excited yet, not too carried away. Well, they've got 10 minutes yet. Gerrard to Alonso. Of course, he can't put Crouch on. He's already used his 3 subs. Here's one of them, Xabi Alonso. On the Edson, says Sami Herpia. Oh, Gerrard here. You can't take your eyes off it now. Seemingly down and out until Steven Gerrard inspired a revival with his cracking goal. And now Herpia on the score sheet as well. He'll only be pretty disgusted with the way that his team have defended. He wasn't happy at the weekend in that department. But there's still hope. Very entertaining for the neutral. Baptista. Dudek got a fist to it. Not that convincing though. They need some breathing space, Arsenal. Liverpool have the bit between their teeth at last. Diaby's run it out. Robbie Fowler. Here's Song. Clever play from Danielson. Fabregas was grounded, but got no sympathy from referee Atkinson. Herpia. All of a sudden it's a different ball game. Jamie Carragher. One more goal for Liverpool and Arsenal can reach for the tin helmets. Alonso. Aurelio almost latched onto that. Danielson to Hoyt. Tropia's challenge wins the throw. And they can't get on with it quickly enough now. Much more purpose to Liverpool's play, but has it all come too late? Aurelio. Teasing Hoyt. That's good defending though. Jeremy Aliadier, one of many heroes for Arsenal tonight. Baptista! It's one to tell the grandchildren. He has scored 4 times at Anfield. And this man has made it again. Jeremy Aliadier.
Arsenal scorer number 9, Julio Baptista.
And it all started way back there, look. Aliadier in pursuit. Paletta's gone with him. I'm afraid he's had a nightmare evening. And Baptista left completely unattended in the middle. He scored 4, he's even missed a penalty. Liverpool 3, Arsenal 6. Or am I dreaming it all? Rafa Benitez is not amused. And surely that's it now. Arsene Wenger's been saying to Baptista, show me what you can do. Show me how you can finish. That's the response. Alonso. Is there to be another one? There is. Peltier. No, the flag's up. It's been rolled out, and that's why, yeah. Arsenal appealing confidently. And he has denied us our 10th goal of the evening. What was he thinking of? Young Peltier thought he'd scored. That party pooper, the assistant, ruled it out. Not exactly Premiership defending, you'd have to say, but mighty entertaining. Fabregas. 9 goals and a missed penalty. All we need now is a fly pass from the Red Arrows. Well, I suppose we can rule out extra time now, but you never know. Here's Aurelio. Fans of both teams rubbing their eyes in disbelief. Swung over by Alonso. That was a bit clumsy, but a terrific save by Almunia. Really reacted very, very swiftly to deny Jamie Carragher. Not exactly a renowned goal scorer, though he has got one this season. Only 5 in total in his Liverpool career. Gerrard doing his utmost to lead by example, but surely the game's up now. Carragher's drive, and Almunia pulled off a stunning save. He might have had a penalty actually for Song's challenge on Bellamy. Now we've got another change here. Matthew Connolly, another of the youngsters, is on in place of Traore. So a chance for him to show his paces for a couple of minutes or so, go through his paces. Just keen and delighted to be out there, I'm sure. And share in what is a wonderful night for Arsenal. Their second inside 4 days. Fabregas to Song. Diaby. Got 4 up here, Arsenal. Just enjoying themselves. Certainly that 6th goal has taken the momentum away from Liverpool. Well, that's Gerrard's pass. Here they come again. Oh, they've had plenty of chances. As Guthrie fires that one wide. Not a night they're going to remember too fondly. Heads are shaking. Eyebrows were raised, as I said at the start, when the team was announced. And the gamble of not putting in 1 or 2 more regulars most certainly has not paid off. Almost set to time added on. There'll be 4 more minutes. 6. Remember, at the end of the first half.
4 minutes added time. 4 minutes.
Flipped in by Gerrard. Should be Almunia's, and it is. Well, it surely is the end of any hope they have of a domestic trophy. The best they can hope for in the Premiership is 3rd. You would think, anyway, looking at the league table. Arsenal 1 place below them. But their fans basking in the glory of knowing they're still left in 2 cup competitions, still in the FA Cup, because Liverpool, the holders, are out. And now looking forward to a semi-final, surely, against Tottenham. 2 fantastic nights in prospect there. Baptista. Showing plenty of aggression. It's been an abrasive edge to his game, but of course his finishing has been sublime. 4 shots on goal, and he scored from every one of them. And presumably that statistic, which I've just been shown, doesn't include his penalty. Kolo Touré. Look at this now from Arsenal. Baptista. Well, he has given his manager the kind of headache any coach would want in terms of team selection. Julio Baptista. But whatever the score, whatever their problems, you won't silence the Liverpool fans. You'll never walk alone rings out around Anfield, even though their team are losing 6-3. Song. Laid off so tidily then by Fabregas. Paletta. One of many players for Liverpool who've had a night to forget. These young Arsenal players have responded so admirably to the challenge given them by their coach tonight. More established stars either left at home or on the bench or simply watching from the stands. And they have come up with a super performance. But maybe Liverpool haven't quite finished yet. Alonso. It was Diaby who was closing in on it. Song in the way, aided by Diaby, but at the expense of a corner. Just a few seconds from the final whistle. Not the kind of scoreline you anticipate when two Premiership clubs meet. Certainly a bizarre one. Is there yet to be one more twist? Very nearly from Steven Gerrard as he's stolen round the back. But he'll be suffering physically and mentally at the end of a grueling 90 minutes that has gone horribly wrong for the team in red. And it's a North London derby for the semi-finals of the Carling Cup. Rafa Benitez's Liverpool team, for the second time in 4 days, have been beaten in their own backyard by Arsenal. Julio Baptista with 4 goals on the night. Song and Ali Adier getting the other 2. A wonderful goal from Steven Gerrard, Herpier on the score sheet as well, and Robbie Fowler. But it simply wasn't enough on the night. And Arsenal are really enjoying their trips to Merseyside. Baptista, who knows he has a lot to prove yet to the coach, to prove to him that he's worth keeping at the club. Well, he's answered in the best possible way this evening on a fabulous night for the Gunners and for their fans who've travelled up from North London. Tottenham next in the Carling Cup semi-finals. It's Arsenal's night yet again in a cup competition at Anfield. And they have won by this quite extraordinary scoreline. Hope you've enjoyed it too. Liverpool 3, Arsenal 6.
Yeah, boring game, football. So Arsenal through to the semi-finals of the Carling Cup, where they'll play their North London rivals Spurs. Robbie Slater is still with me. Incredible game.
It was.
Unbelievable.
It was difficult to follow, wasn't it? Just goals flying in everywhere, missed penalty. But really papering over really what was a very, very poor effort from Liverpool.
Out of 2 cups inside a few days to the same opposition, there are going to be a few questions asked of Rafa Benitez after
well,
this.
Well, definitely. Look, I think when the teams come out, I think it was more understandable Arsenal putting out the side they did than Liverpool. And the commentators just said it, that's probably their best chance of silverware, just gone now. So it's quite extraordinary that he put out such a weak side. And certainly the future does not lie with that back four.
Absolutely.
It's terrible.
Let's have a look at the highlights then in the second half. As we say, it was an incredible game, really. This is how it all got started after the break. Sami Hyypiä, pretty clear-cut penalty.
Very clear-cut penalty, and there's no need. Ali Adier is going away from goal towards the corner flag. There's no need to dive in there. There is no danger.
Ali
what a game
Adier had a great game, didn't he, actually?
Fantastic game. I don't think there's any doubt that that's a penalty. And we all thought, here's the hat-trick. But it was a poor penalty.
At least Dudek did something right in this game.
He did. But it was the only poor thing he did all night, Baptista. I mean, when you say a poor penalty, it's at a good height for the goalkeeper who guesses the right way. And look, any penalty save's a good one, but certainly it wasn't a greatly taken penalty.
He's got a bit of the Bruce Grobbelaar wobbly legs, hasn't he, Jersey Dudek, when he's facing the penalty. However,
I think Hyypiä's got a bit of the Bruce Grobbelaar wobbly legs as well.
This was a great finish from Baptista, who had a superb night, and as Peter Brackley has said throughout, has given Arsene Wenger perhaps a headache or two.
Yeah, it's a good strike, but watch Steven Gerrard dive in there. There's no need. Again, 35 metres, well, 30 metres out from goal, no need to dive in. If he doesn't dive in there, Baptista doesn't score this goal. It's quite simple.
Picked his spot superbly, though, didn't he?
Yeah.
Kulo.
And Gerrard was Liverpool's best.
Yep.
But that was definitely a mistake, defensive mistake, and there was just too many of them from Liverpool.
Well, we were looking for the record books at that stage, weren't we? And I think it was 6-0 Sunderland beat Liverpool on home turf back in 1930. But what about that for a strike from Steven Gerrard?
Technically perfect. For any kids watching, and I'm sure there are school holidays watching this game this morning, you won't get a lot of defensive tips from this game, but what about that for a volley?
It's the body shape, isn't it?
Yeah,
as much as
side
anything
on,
else.
side on, head over it. See his right shoulders, his left shoulder's pointing down. It's just the perfect volley.
No, it was a horror night for Liverpool, not just because of the scoreline, but also because they've picked up a couple of horrendous injuries.
Well,
Mark
looks
Gonzalez in the first half and Luis Garcia.
In big trouble. He looks like straight away he's called for to be substituted, and they put, as they did with Gonzalez, put a splint on. And so it's not a good night for Liverpool.
It's not at all. Now, this was a free kick awarded for this foul on Steven Gerrard with just about 11 minutes to go. Song, I suppose you call it, professional foul.
Yeah.
And that was, in the end, a good save by Almunia, just tipping it onto the bar.
He tips it onto the bar. Great free kick from Steven Gerrard. Very hard to see because the ball was travelling at some pace, but he's certainly tipped it onto the bar. And there's Sami Hyypiä, comes to make up for some of his defensive problems that he's had all night, and gets a goal back. At that stage, you're looking at a very unlikely comeback.
Yeah.
And the commentator, I think, got very excited, as did the supporters, but it didn't last for long. That's Paletta, good ball in. Hyypiä with a good header.
Again, I'm not sure about the marking, but Arsenal weren't to be denied. Up to the other end, Julio Baptista with his 4th of the game.
Fantastic individual performance, isn't it? From this guy, Baptista, and Ali Dier. But what about Paletta there? Again, defending. He's made up the striker's mind by diving in. There's no need. He's out near the corner flag. Just shepherd him towards the sideline and the corner flag. Not a problem.
Well, it's the type of performance that I suppose you don't come to expect from Liverpool, particularly on home turf. It does, absolutely. These are the stats that matter. It was a very open and flowing game. 17 shots on target by Liverpool to Arsenal's 8, 29 fouls in the game. Arsenal shedding the possession, 5 offsides, all by Liverpool, 11 corners in the game. And perhaps surprisingly, given the amount of goals, just the 1 yellow card that went in the first half.